Om Swastiastu. To the Honorable Ms. Putusanti Oktarina, SPD as the lecturer in Teaching English to Young Learners course in 5th semester. My name is Luh Ari Artini. I am from English Education Department in 5A class. In this time, I would like to present about the early bilinguals and teaching English for young learners. Alright, so there are 2 points that I would like to describe now. That is early bilingualism, which is contains of the characteristics of early bilingualism, and then the key principles of early bilingualism. And the second topic is about teaching English for young learners, the characteristic of TEYL, and then the key principles of TEYL. Well, so the first is about early bilingualism. So what is early bilingualism? In short, early bilingualism arises when young children start to regularly hear 2 languages instead of just one. Children might hear these languages from birth, or they might start to hear a second language at somewhat later age. So there are 4 characteristics of early bilingualism. The first one is they're often part of 2 cultures or a culture where more than one language is used. The second characteristic is they might not speak both languages equally well. And then the third characteristic is they might not be able to translate quickly. And then the fourth one is they might sometimes mix languages when speaking to each other. So this is the characteristic of early bilingualism, which is mean that not all the early age children who can speak 2 languages, but it don't mean that they can speak both of languages quickly well. Well, the next is about the key principles of early bilingualism. So there are 3 key principles of early bilingualism. The first one is the understanding of words and sentences in foreign languages can be made easier by the use of mother tongue. So this means that the children or the early age children need to understanding of words and sentences in the foreign language. It will be easier for them if they use their mother tongue. So the second key principle is there's need not to create artificial situations for explaining the meaning of words and sentences of the target language. So there are not be too so specific to explaining about the meaning of words, because early bilingualism can do that naturally. So the third one is bilingual method is the combination of the direct method and the grammar translation method. So this means that the early children of the early age can be bilingual or can be a bilingualism when they can speak 2 languages, but they don't just hear that from their environment, but they will try to analyze the grammar or the structures of language. So in the conclusion, is English is the primary language of education and communication in this country. Therefore, all children have to effective teaching of English in English. Support in all languages in child's repertoire helps to ensure that children have the best access to new concepts and ideas, then therefore to the highest possible achievement. Well, so that's all about the early bilingualism, and then we will move to the TEYL or Teaching English for Young Learners. So what is TEYL? Children and teenagers must be allowed to play an active part in the process of mastering skills and extending their knowledge of the world around them. To ensure that they play an active part in the learning process, teachers need to arouse and maintain interest by providing an environment that will enable them to talk and act as if they were living a real experience. So this means that TEYL is an action to mastering skills of children and teenagers about their knowledge in the world. So we will discuss about the characteristic of the EYL. There are 5 characteristics. The first one is children are lively and kinesthetic beings. As they grow, young learners balance their high level of energy with critical thinking and independence. So students or children are mostly kinesthetic beings. So they need to balance their high level of energy with the critical thinkings, and they have to independent. And the second one is young learners might become completely absorbed in both physical and mental activity. On the other hand, their concentration doesn't last very long. So this means like the young learners will absorb the activities either in physical and mental. So the third one is younger students are less self-centered in the personal relationship and readier to form groups and take part in team activities, and games. So this means that young learners will be more readier to form in a group and take part in the team activities and games, because as the first characteristic, so student is the kinesthetic being, so they will be readier in form groups and the activities in the team activities. So the fourth one is their general intelligence increases steadily and spatial abilities begin to emerge toward as they grow. Their capacity to form concepts and also increases, although some concepts are slow in developing. So this means that they have their own intelligence, so it will increase steadily and spatial begin to emerge towards as they grow. So the last characteristic is young students memorize easily at this age. Good and bad experience have long-lasting effects. So this means that young students will be easier or to memorize everything at their early age. So everything they found, either it's good or bad, so it will be long-lasting effect in their brain as their experience. All right, so the next one is about the key principles of TEYL. There are 2. So the first one is teachers must understand the concept of acquisition and learning when teaching English to young learners. So this means that beside of the students, so teachers also understand about the concept of acquisition, so students can prepare what students will gonna do with what the teachers will gonna do with the students. Also, because when teaching the young learners is also different when teaching the adult learners. So teachers must understand the concept of acquisition first. So the second one is how young learners learn English, as well as how to teach is highly dependent on their developmental level. So this is, I said before, the how to teach young learners is different based on their level. So teachers need to understand about the concept acquisition first, and then how the learners or the young learners learn English is depend on their developmental level. All right, so that's all about the TEYL and also early bilingualism. If you have question, you can drop in the comments below. All right, so that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your kind attention. So if there's any mistake, I do apologize, and then see you in the next video. Om Santi 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 Om. Have a nice day.